Hello, Andrew here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my Premier League predictions for this weekend, starting on the 24th of August 2018. So the first game is Wolves versus Manchester City. Wolves haven't had too bad a start, but they are coming up against very tough and very fast pace. One of the favourites for the title this season, Manchester City. They 6-1 last weekend. I mean, it's going to be a very tough day, but Wolves, if you remember, did beat them in the FA Cup last season. So anything can happen. I don't think there will be a repeat of it though. I do think Manchester City will win, and I think it's going to be 3-1 Manchester City. Arsenal versus West Ham. Both have lost their opening games of the season. Last week West Ham actually went 1-0 up and then ended up losing the game 2-1. And Arsenal, they were quite unlucky against Chelsea. They could have been 4-2 up at half time. Aubameyang missed some simple chances. And then Chelsea got the winning goal in the second half. So this is a must-win game for both teams. You got the international break coming up very soon, and no one wants to have 3 or 4 losses before the international break. No points on the board. So this is a must-win for both teams, and this is going to be a very tough game. But I think Arsenal. I just think West Ham, they've brought in a lot of players, but they just haven't gelled yet. I think Arsenal are going to win this one. I'm going to say 3-1 to Arsenal. Bournemouth versus Everton. Again, two teams that's, they've had a decent start in their first 2 games. Richarlison's been doing very well for Everton, and Bournemouth, they're playing very well as well. So this is a tough one to call. But I think Everton are just going to snatch it, and I'm going to say 2-1 to Everton. Huddersfield and Cardiff. Well, Cardiff just coming up has struggled really. They got a 0-0 and they lost. And Huddersfield, they got absolutely battered by City. But at home they normally do quite well. But I can't see this being a many goal game, and I think they're both going to get a draw. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Southampton versus Leicester. Two teams, mixed start. Actually, no, I think Southampton's lost both games, to be honest. So this is going to be, where Southampton need the points. Again, like I say, no one wants to be on 0 points before an international break. So it's going to be a tough game, but I think Southampton just haven't got the firepower at the moment. And I think Leicester's just going to snatch this one 2-1 as well, or 2-0. Liverpool versus Brighton. Well, we all know what Brighton did last weekend. They beat Manchester United. It wasn't that Brighton played brilliant. It was that Man United were very poor. And you thought in the second half that they would come out and they would still end up winning the game, but their passing wasn't on. They were trying too many. Like when the first runner made the run, they were trying to play him in instead of, defenders were going with that runner. The space was opening up and they just didn't use it. So, it wasn't that Brighton played brilliant, but you've got to give them credit for winning the game. They beat them last season as well. But they're up against, my team, Liverpool, and Liverpool's ambitions are to win the title this season. And we've got to stay with Man City, and we should be beating Brighton, especially at home, and I think we will. And I think Brighton are going to be in for a bit of a romping. Yes, against Crystal Palace, they always give us a tough game. When we go to Selhurst Park, we always have a very tough game against Crystal Palace, and got to give them respect for that. But I think Brighton are going to lose this one, maybe 4 or 5-0. which roughly the same scoreline that we beat them last season. So I think you're looking at a big score on the cards here. I'll be very shocked if it's not, and I'll be very shocked if Brighton actually beat us. I'll be fuming, to be honest, but I can't see it happening. Nah, this is going to be a 4-5-0 for Liverpool. Then your games on Sunday, Watford versus Crystal Palace. Watford have had a very good start to the season. And as I say, Crystal Palace, they gave us a game. But I think at the moment, though, I think Watford are just a little bit stronger. I think they've got a new bit of belief, new manager, and they're actually, they're playing very well at the minute. I think Watford will win this one. I think it'll be 3-1 to Watford. Fulham and Burnley. Fulham, again, both games that they've played, they haven't played too bad, but they've ended up being on the losing. They played very well against Crystal Palace, but Ray and Hennessy was just, so good at goal for them. And then against Tottenham, they had their chances, and in the end, Tottenham were just too much for them. Burnley, I think they've had one win and one loss, if I can remember correctly. I might be wrong, but again, I mean, Fulham need to win this game. Fulham, this is one of the teams that around, they're going to finish roughly around. Well, actually, no, Burnley did finish quite highly last season, but with the Europa League and that lot, that's if they can stay in it. I mean, they lost 3-1 last night. It could have been a lot more against Olympiacos, so they've got a very tough task to stay in the Europa League now. But Fulham do need to win this game. I think they might just snatch it. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Fulham. Newcastle versus Chelsea. Newcastle haven't played too badly, although Kennedy was awful for them against Cardiff. I mean, why he took the free kick, why he took the penalty when he's been playing that bad, I don't know. I don't know if he was their designated free kick taker or he was their designated penalty kick taker. But no, when you're playing that bad, put someone on it that is feeling confident. And as you know, Chelsea, they've won their first 2 games. Tough one against Arsenal, but they still came through it. This is going to be a tough one to call, though. I think Newcastle at home, that's where they're going to need to win the games, and I feel they need to win this one. Will they? No, I don't think they will. I think Chelsea are just going to snatch it, and I'm going to say 2-1 to Chelsea. The biggest game possibly of the weekend, well, you might as well say beginning of the week, is the game on Monday, is Manchester United versus Spurs. Man United got lucky in their first game against Leicester, lost to Brighton, and Tottenham are flying. Man United, though, at home need to beat Spurs, to make some kind of statement, because I know what's annoying Mourinho, I know what's annoying Man United fans and that lot. Why was Mourinho not backed, right? If you're going to get your manager to sign a new contract in January, and then you're not going to back him to bring in the players that he needs in the summer transfer window, you can understand why Mourinho is where he is. I don't like Mourinho, don't get me wrong, I can't stand the guy, right? But if you're going to let him sign a new contract and not back him, well, how do you expect him to react? I mean, the problem with Mourinho, he wants players of today, not of tomorrow. So that's why he was trying to get Maguire, Alderweireld, players that are ready to come straight into the team, not players that are going to develop and, be good a couple of years down the line. Will he stay in management? Who knows? It all depends what happens between now and Christmas, I think. But saying that, this is going to be a tough game for them. But do you know what? I think they're going to get a result. I don't know why. I'm going to say 2-2. A 2-2 draw. So, that is my predictions for this weekend. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel. and I'll speak to you all before the Liverpool-Brighton game tomorrow for the preview and team news. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.